Good afternoon and welcome to Cider Park in Germantown, Maryland, for this afternoon's game between the Boston Ruffians and the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers. At this time, we'll introduce the starting lineup in batting order of the visiting Boston Ruffians. Batting first, the shortstop, number 5, Pretend Esposito. Batting second, the right fielder, number 17, Throat Boulder. Batting third, the second baseman, number 9, Squire Pondwood. Batting fourth, the center fielder, number 6, Slog Thombid. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 30, Rogue Bison. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 11, Clay Pickles. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 2, Nevada Escargot. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 19, Dilly Barr. And batting ninth, the pitcher, number 58, Charles Tonchu. And let's hop to it. It's the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers taking the field for this afternoon's game. Here they are, the center fielder, number 5, Grumbly Parker. The third baseman, number 10, Heine Sheen. The first baseman, number 8, Fist Meyer. The shortstop, number 2, Jake Steakhouse. The second baseman, number 27, Coke Can Lloyd. The right fielder, number 7, Rocky Cottoneer. The left fielder, number 41, Truss Grundleson. The catcher, number 17, Curtis Burgess. And taking the mound, the starting pitcher for your Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers, number 18, Art Hell.
I bid you a good afternoon. This is WFBR, Baltimore-Washington Radio for Baltimore, Washington, and everywhere in between. My name is Lou Fudgewick. We are live from Cider Park this, the 28th of September, 1921, where the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers, in game number 88 of this 90-game Continental League season, are potentially on the precipice of making history. They are 2 wins away from being Continental League champions in their first ever season, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. They have a difficult task. While it is the Boston Ruffians, who have a mirror image record of the Grasshoppers, who are 51-36, the Ruffians 36-51. These are the 2 hottest teams at the moment in the Continental League, as Pretend Esposito begins with a single up the middle, leaving it for Throat Boulder. The Ruffians just coming off of a 3-game sweep of the series against the Pittsburgh Presbyterians, one of the teams that the Grasshoppers are competing for the title against. The Pittsburgh Presbyterians and the Philadelphia Brown Trousers both are playing in a 3-game series to conclude the season. One will take care of the other, as it were, but for the Grasshoppers, they just need to get business taken care of here at home at Cider Park. It's already 1-0 on a Throat Boulder RBI double. He is, in fact, caught in a rundown after a single by Squire Pondwood. He is on first. It is 1 out, but it is already 1-0 in favor of the visiting side, the side that is on a 3-game winning streak. The Grasshoppers, a 4-game winning streak of their own. And this should be Steakhouse to Lloyd, a fancy Dan to end the inning. Well, the 1 run from 2 hits puts the Grasshoppers in a bit of a hole to be in. But here is Charles Tonchu on the mound for the Ruffians. Not a great start to the season for him. He's started 13 games this season. He's got a record of 0-5. His ERA is not exactly one to be too proud of, 10.54. He's got 23 strikeouts from 41 innings pitched. And he does get the first out in the form of Grumbly Parker, getting him to ground out to the second baseman. Heine Sheen on an 0-1 pitch will fly it out to right field. That is, I believe that was in right field. It goes Throat Boulder with the catch.
Nope, inside.
Fist Meyer has a .335 average this season, 32 runs, 66 hits, 8 home runs. He's going to ground out again. The second baseman, Pondwood, throw to Meyer in time. It is a 1-2-3 inning. And don't you get it wrong, the Boston Ruffians will make the Grasshoppers, the potential heir apparent to the championship, work for it, and they are continuing this going by Rogue Bison, the veteran for the Ruffians, starting off with a single up the middle. And here is Clay Pickles. Pickles was a former member of the Bakersfield Golden Suns. Played 10 games for them before he was picked up by the Ruffians. Played 50 games, and with a 339 average, he's going to pop it up for out number 1 here of the second inning. Must admit that Fancy Dan double play that ended the first inning is brought to you by Fancy Dan. Follicle products put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. They have all the ointments, creams, salads, and treatments to make your hair shimmer, sheen, glimmer, and gleam. Don't be a Mitchell, be a Fancy Dan. Well, it's out number 2 as Bison is caught stealing on the pitch out, and that will put Nevada Escargot to first base, first walk of the game for Art Hell, who has a 6-4 record, a 4.41 ERA, 60 strikeouts, starting his 22nd game. He's been a Grasshopper throughout the entirety of the season. Well, not a good time to get nerves at the tail end of the season. It's just another game. It is game 88, but again, 2 wins for the Grasshoppers from the next 3 games will crown them champions. The destiny is in their own hands. On the bottom of the second, first pitch, and Jake Stakehouse grounds it out. He's Pondwood through to Maya, very common. Coke Can Lloyd hits it with some veracity. It is going to go to the warning track, and Throat Boulder in right field will catch it 2 away. Charles Tonchu is making quick work of the first time through the Grasshoppers, and just like that, he drills Rocky Cottonier in the back, putting him on first. That is the first base runner today for the Grasshoppers. It brings up Truss Grundleson, takes ball 1 to start things off. Ball 3 is outside, so a 3-0 count. Swings on a 3-0 count to Pretend Esposito. Throw is in time to Bison, and that puts away another inning. 1-0. 3 hits for the Ruffians. 3 hits for the Ruffians. None so far for the Grasshoppers. And Artel heads back to the mound and make that the 4th hit of the game. It is to the pitcher. Charleston Chu hits it right to the center field. Grumbly Parker has to play in a bit, but the throw is not in time to first base. And back around again. Pretend Esposito 1 for 1. He had a single to lead things off.
Nope, that's high.
Facing a 2-0 pitch of Art Hell.
Ball high.
Esposito has a 302 average this season. Been a great, a strong servant to the Boston Ruffians. Has not been starting every game, but found his way back into the order, and he will walk to first base, making way for Throat Boulder, who really resurrected his career after spending some time in the Memphis Mud Pigs Nursery League team, and that's going to drop. That's a high pop fly, could not be reached by Truss Grundleson. So no outs, runners are on first and second, and Squire Pondwood will pop it high up into the air. That should be an easy catch. Grundleson and Parker, well, it'll be Grundleson with it. It is not good enough for Esposito to tag up and take third base, so runners still on first and second for Slog Thombid, who's 0 for 1 today. Swing, and why not? They've been making contact left and right today, the Ruffians. They are swinging at everything Artel is throwing at them. Take strike 2 down the middle. Swing right past the glove of Hell. And Parker is going to try to get Escargot at third. Does not throw it in time. I think there was a potential that might have been caught. Escargot was a bit tentative there. Well, Rogue Bison has a single today already.
That's outside.
They have been playing a good bit of small ball here, the Ruffians. It is 2-0. With the bases loaded, 1 out. That is into foul territory. That should take a drop into the foul territory on the wrong side of the third baseline. easily. Not good contact, but Burgess
Out.
gets has to get the out at first of Meyer. It does score another run. It is 3-0. And Rogue Bison gets his
Ball inside.
65th run batted in this season for the Ruffians. Clay Pickles, the catch-up. Another member of the Bakerfield Golden Suns will hit it right to Sheeny on a hop. Throw to Meyer is in time. It does strand runners, but not before 2 more runs are scored. We head to the bottom of the third. The Grasshoppers yet to put a run on the board. They trail 3-0. And for the first time today, it's Curtis Burgess. The catch-up. And he's going to hit it on the first pitch, right to Squire Pondwood. Throw to Bison is in time. And here is the pitcher, Art Hell, for his first at-bat.
That's down.
He has 7 hits this season from 38 at-bats. 4 runs batted in.
Ball high.
So that puts a respectable 184 for a pitcher. That's not too bad. You don't expect too much from your batting pitchers. There are the occasional batsmen, pitchers who are expert batsmen, but not Art Hell. He will line it right to Rogue Bison for out number 2. And the season is starting to fall onto a bit of a knife's edge, as it were, here. The crowd very excited, wearing their pale green of the Grasshoppers.
Nope,
They would
that's
love
low.
to see a championship awarded to the Baltimore-Washington metropolitan area here in Germantown, Maryland. Grumbly Parker is going to walk. I think it's the first walk of the day for Charles Tonchu. If you don't count his the time when he hit Rocky Cottonier with the baseball, the hit by pitch, I guess, did put a man on first, but that is now the second base runner for the Grasshoppers today here in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. That is a curveball. It just takes a nice dip. Heine Sheen doesn't even think about swinging at it. He swings at the 4th pitch of this at-bat. It's foul. 1-2 the count still. Thinks about it. It goes right past him, and it's a strikeout for Charles Tonchu. Heine Sheen holds his head in his hand and goes and takes a seat. We are 1/3 of the way through this game. Nevada Escargot starts things off for the Ruffians, who have a 3-0 lead against the home side, the Grasshoppers. The Ruffians, the last place team in the Continental League, have been surging, and that's going to go right to the glove of Coke Can Lloyd for out number 1. Bring up Dilly Barr.
That's high.
Dilly Barr, a Norfolk whip,
Nope, low.
was brought up in the most recent break for the Ruffians. Has had a 250 average in his 22 games, his 68 at-bats. Been getting a bit more chances to play in left field. Again, he's going to ground it out. That is to the 3rd baseman, Heine Sheen. Throw to Maya is in time for out number 2. Again, a lot of these teams seeing what they have as far as their minor league, their nursery league prospects, their affiliates, I suppose. And here's Charleston Chu again. He's going to swing for strike 3, and that will bring us to the bottom of the 4th. Well, another 0 on the board. And the Ruffian side is going to be good news for the Grasshoppers, but they need to get the runs on the board. They are a team that have handled the Ruffians rather easily this season. 5-2 is their record against Boston. And that includes 5 away games and 2 home games. I don't have the breakdown that way, but that will be a walk. So Fist Meyer is on base yet again. And Jake Stakehouse still looks for the first hit of the game for the Grasshoppers, but he's going to hit it right to Pondwood. Right to Pondwood, to Esposito, to Bison. A Fancy Dan double play clears out the bases and puts 2 outs on the board. Coke Can Lloyd pops it up high in the air. It should be an easy one for Slug Thombid. He makes the catch and retires the side. We are through 4 innings. The Grasshoppers are still being blanked right here by the last place Boston Ruffians. I must say I am absolutely surprised. I am gobsmacked by this.
Out.
But the Ruffians have looked very good. Pretend Esposito is going to line that one out for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. This game going by ridiculously fast, I must say. But here is Throat Boulder, 2 for 2. A double and a single. He is responsible for 2 of the 3 runs today. He takes a 2-2 pitch.
Off the plate.
Now it's full. That one is high for ball 3. Swing, and that is going to find the gap. It's going to trickle all the way to Grumbly Parker, who is playing deep, expecting better contact from throat boulder. He is on with a single, his 3rd hit of the game. Brings up Squire Pondwood. Pondwood at 278 average this season, just below his career average. He had a 329 last year in Boston. And he's going to strike out, so that is going to give Artell a little bit of confidence, as it were. Bringing up Slog Thombid, I think just under 300 this season, 299 going into today. He's 1 for 2, so that will help boost his average just a slight bit.
Out.
And he's going to pop it into the air. Artell with the catch just in front of home plate. Well, a welcome 0 on the board again, but the Grasshoppers still being blanked. Rocky Cartonier was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, so really he hasn't had a good chance to get a swing at the ball. His first swing is foul down the 3rd base line.
Inside.
Rocky Cartonier is rookie season. The Charleston Crow, picked up by the Grasshoppers in the expansion draft. At the start of the season, he's been batting .311 this season, which is fantastic. In the long run, his small sample size, he batted .400 in 8 games with Charleston this year. 10 hits from 25 at-bats. And he is going to be another out recorded by Charles Ton Chu. Well, Charles Grundleson finding his way back into the starting lineup. He is Philadelphia Brown trousers in the expansion draft, and he's going to record his 13th double of the season, and the first hit of the game comes for the Grasshoppers. It puts Grundleson, who's been batting .340, on second base, and Tonchu picks it up from Burgess. It's a rundown for Grundleson. Esposito to Tonchu again, and they get the tag. So out number 2, Curtis Burgess does not make good contact. It's a rundown. He is on first, but the fielder's choice for those scoring at home. Well, a runner on first is Curtis Burgess, and here is Art Hell remaining in the game for the Grasshoppers.
Nope. Outside.
Bottom of the 5th, 2 outs. You're listening to WFBR. My name is Lou Fudgewick. This is WFBR, radio for Baltimore, radio for Washington, and radio for everywhere in between. This is game number 88. 3 games remaining. This is the 3rd from the final game of the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers inaugural season. And would you believe they are very much in position to possibly
That's low.
become champions. They do need to
That's down.
win 2 of their 3 final games to make it certain. Of course, with Philadelphia and Pittsburgh playing one another, and those are the 2 teams in contention to challenge. Both are 2 games back, playing at this very moment, I believe. We'll see if we can get some records. I think they started a little bit later, so I don't know if we'll have a final score at the moment. But they will be basically taking one another out, as it were. But if the Grasshoppers were to win today, it would eliminate the loser of that game. But for the Grasshoppers, they do control their own destiny, and that is out number 3. That is out number 2. Fistmeyer picking it up and stepping on the bag to record the out of Clay Pickles. Nevada Escargot is 0 for 1 today. He did walk in his one-time visiting first base. He faces a 3-0 count. That is strike 1. Let's go down the middle, and that is in the dirt. So that'll be another walk for Art Hell, who is having a day that he might want to forget, but Grasshoppers are staying with him. He's walked 3 earned runs. I think the real problem is that his own teammates are not supporting him from the batting perspective. They are fielding very well, as that was right to Heine Sheen for out number 3. Well, Grumbly Parker now has his 3rd at-bat of the day, here in the bottom of the 6th.
Inside.
The pitcher on the mound is still Charles Tonchu, who has given up 1. That is exactly 1 hit today. Truss Grundleson's
That's low.
double off the wall
Ball four, take
last inning. That is another walk that he has recorded. So Grumbly Parker with his .336 average, 16 home runs in his rookie season, 57 RBIs. Has been a homegrown talent. That's going to be Heine Sheen high up into the air and right to Dilly Bob at the warning track for out number 1, bottom of the 6th. You have to wonder where the run support will come from for the Grasshoppers, as the Ruffians have been blanking pretty much every reliable batsman they've had. Fistmeyer, a .335 average
Ball high.
in his rookie Continental League season.
Ball high.
8 home runs, 25 runs batted in, and there they are trying to pick off Parker at first. He's going to try to steal, and he's going to be safe in at second, sliding in past the tag of Squire Pondwood.
Nope, that's
With
high.
1 out, that breaks up the double play. Charles Tonchu makes it full count. High up into the air, and will it drop into a gap in the outfield? No, Squire Pondwood takes the jog and gets out for number 2. It keeps Parker at second. And Jake Stakehouse, who's 0 for 2 today, is usually a reliable batsman. He is .343 in the season, but with runners in scoring position at .373. 61 runs batted in. He's going to hit it right to Esposito. Doesn't clear the infield. It is out number 3. 2/3 of the way through the game, the Grasshoppers have had 1 hit and no runs. The Ruffians, 3 runs on the board. Top of the 7th. Artel still in this game. Faces the pitcher, Charles Tonchu. And why wouldn't he stay in the game? He's been pitching lights out of the Grasshoppers. 1 hit, no runs. Why wouldn't you put him out there yet again? He's going to swing and strike out. I don't think anyone on the Ruffians dugout would be too upset about that. He is doing what he is needing to do for the team to get their 4th straight win in this game, which they are much on their way to, and would break the 4-game winning streak that the Grasshoppers have at the moment. Then Esposito will ground it right to Jake Stakehouse at second base, at shortstop, excuse me. Throw to Maya is in time. 2 away, and it's Throat Boulder's turn. Boulder 3 for 3 and make it 4 for 4. That's going to dribble right to the infield. Parker does not play it well. He plays it as well as he can from his positioning. It finds the gap between second and short. And out will come Artel. In comes Shiwi Waninger. That's going to go right to Heine Sheen, who has trouble playing it. It will be a single. I don't think that will be recorded as an error. It is, yes, it is a hit to Shiwi Waninger's record. He has a 6-0 win-loss record as a reliever. Outstanding. Comes in to help get the results. He's making his 32nd appearance today. An ERA of 5.14 as a rookie. A homegrown talent that is going to, however, be to industry, and that is a home run for the Ruffians, a 3-run home run. It makes it 6-0 now, and that is Slog Thambid getting a home run, number 18 for him, and his RBI total is now over 50. For the season. It's a 6-0 game. It is all going wrong for the Grasshoppers. Rose Bison goes back to industry a second time, a 3-0 pitch. And Waninger has just given up back-to-back home runs. He has given up 12 all season and make that 14 after 2 this game. Here is Clay Pickles, 7-0. The Ruffians are putting the hurt on the Grasshoppers, and they are showing they are not ready to lay down and give up a championship to a team that has to win 2 games. They are making them earn it, and they are certainly not doing their part to earn it today. It is making things very tense here in Germantown at Cider Park. That is a strikeout, so play Pickles will take a seat. Out comes Charles Tonchu, bottom of the 7th. No one really taking a break during the 7.5 inning stretch.
That's down.
Of course, I must tell you, as it's a 2-1 count. That is down the middle for strike 2 of Coke Can Lloyd, who's 0 for 2 today. He will strike out, so that is 0 for 3 for Coke Can Lloyd for Rocky Cottonier. The 2 home runs in the past inning are brought to you by Industry Brand Colognes, Perfumes, and Fragrances. If you want to smell like anything in this world, why would you not want to smell like the clean, fresh scent of Industry, found wherever smells are sold? Cottonier faces now a 1-2 count. That is right down the middle for strike 2. Swing, that's going to be right to Esposito. Takes his time. Makes the throw to Bison. 8-2 away. Truss Grundleson has the double. That is, well, pretty much the only highlight that the Grasshoppers can speak of today.
That's down.
He's had a fantastic season, batting .340, easily his highest average in his 3 seasons in the Continental League. He's going to strike out, however, bring an end to the 7th inning. Well, his double is the only hit the Grasshoppers have on the board. Nevada Escargot faces Shiwi Waninger. Stays on the mound at the moment. And I guess, well, if you kind of consider this game a bit of a foregone conclusion, you might want to rest some of your your bullpen, I suppose. The Aces are on the mound in the next game, so it will be, I believe it will be Aubrey Bona and Garfield Weed for the 2 sides. Bona, of course, for the Hoppers. Cook and Lloyd will catch that one just shy of the dirt for out number 1 here in the top of the 8th. You're listening to WFBR, radio for Baltimore, radio for Washington, and everywhere in between. My name is Blue Fudgewick. This is game 88 of the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers inaugural season. And that will do it for Charles Tonchu. Gives way for Energy Midtown, a pinch hitter, so Tonchu's day will end after 7 strong innings of pitching. And in comes the closer, asked to get 6 out for the Ruffians. It is the league leader in saves. It is Stump Downtown the 3rd. 12 saves to his name. That is the that leads the Continental League in saves. So he's been absolutely lights out pitching. Making his 56th appearance. And we'll get that one right out of the air. Picks that right out of the air of Hubie Guzzel, the pinch hitter. Coming in into the left field for Dilly Bar is Leonard Toblerone. So a change of fielding, and that's going to be a jumping catch by Squire Pondwood. Makes the throw to Rogue Bison for the Fancy Dan to end the inning. And in comes Warden Lobster. Well, that Fancy Dan, brought to you by Fancy Dan Polymer Products. Put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. They have the styling salves, the crimping powder, and of course, gelatin-based hair treatments. Via Mitchell, via Fancy Dan. Warden Lobster comes in to relieve Shiwi Waninger here in the top of the 9th. It is 7-0. The Boston Ruffians. A commanding victory in waiting. That is out number 1, Rocky Cottonier with the catch. To deny pretend Esposito. Throat Boulder definitely has player of the game. Finest dandy of the day. Honors perhaps waiting for him as he is 4 for 4. We'll make that 4 for 5. He is in fact fallible, ladies and gentlemen. He pops it up to Lobster for out number 2. Squire Pondwood will keep the inning alive with, he did have a home run earlier today. That was a 3-run, no, he did not have a home run. That was Slug Thombit's home run. 2 for today. But Pondwood is now on first with a single. Thambid with 2 outs. Fouls that one into the home dugout. Swing at that one for strike 2. 0-2 the count. And that is going to go right to Cocan Lloyd. Throw to Maya is in time. And well, there are still 3 outs left in this game. There is still hope. Heine Sheen, Fist Maya, and Jake Steakhouse are due up for the Grasshoppers. So, well, none of them have recorded a hit all day. Now would be a good time as any, and on a regular day, they are very reliable. This is perhaps a very unusual scene for the Grasshoppers. They're not used to seeing such lack of hitting, but the Ruffians have proven that they are perhaps starting to build something for next year. Heine Sheen will strike out, so Stump Downtown gets another one to his name. That is strikeout number 33 on the season for him.
Ball inside.
Fist Maya takes the first strike, so 1-1 count. That is high for ball 2. Swing, and that is going to be the second hit of the game. A single to center field here in the bottom of the 9th to slug Thambid, who fields it. And with 1 out, Jake Steakhouse takes the plate. First pitch, down the middle for strike 1. Fouls it behind him into the backstop for strike 2.
Foul ball.
Third pitch is fouled off yet again.
Inside.
That is high and inside for ball 1.
Nope, that's low.
Low for ball 2. Steakhouse usually can be relied upon. He's 0 for 3 today, but a lot of 0 fors on the Grasshoppers roster. That being said, he will walk, so the inning is still alive. Cocan Lloyd 0 for 3. First pitch fouled off the railing of his own dugout.
Low.
Next pitch is low, ball 1.
Nope, inside.
Inside, 2-1 the count, so there is still hope for the Grasshoppers.
Nope, that's high.
That is high for ball 3. 1 ball away from the bases loaded, and he does, in fact, walk Lloyd. So the bases are now loaded for Rocky Cartonier. And in comes Fats Hawkins. And that's going to be a single past the diving glove of the third baseman, Nevada Escargot. It is a run on the board. The Grasshoppers have scored thanks to Rocky Cartonier, his 39th run batted RBI of the season. It is 7-1, and well, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. That being said, Nevada Escargot will allow the second one to score, but will get out Truss Grundleson with a throw to Rogue Bison. In comes Pope Lactavius III,
That's down.
a pinch hitter for Curtis Burgess, the catcher,
Nope,
with
outside.
the final out still eluding the Ruffians. Fats Hawkins, 4-2 record. He was picked up from the Portland Racket,
Ball 4, take your base.
and that will walk another batsman. So take it back, it is 7-2. With Fixed Ray Mortgage coming in. Down the middle, Fixed Ray Mortgage has not been seeing much signs of life on the lineup, but would you believe he has just slammed it in the grandest of fashions? Well, only his 4th home run this season. He hits it to industry. It is suddenly a 1-run game, and the Grasshoppers are leaving it to the absolute last point of baseball to be played. Oh, Grumbly Parker couldn't do it, could he?
Off the plate.
7-6. Down the middle for strike 2, Fats Hawkins. And gets Parker to hit it right to Bison. Steps on the bag and comes up short. And it is going to be a loss recorded for the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers, but that will not tell the entire story. They put a 9th inning comeback together that fell agonizingly short. The final score here from Cider Park, the Boston Ruffians, 7 runs from 12 hits. The Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers, 6 runs from 5 hits. 6 of those runs and 4 of those hits came in the bottom of the 9th. You can find the box scores in your afternoon papers tomorrow. The winning pitcher is Charles Tonchu, who will improve to 1-5, get the first win in this season to his Continental League record. Art Hell drops to 6-5 after going 6 2/3 innings. Regrettably, he just was not given much run support. He had a good day on the typical day, but could not get the run support he needed. We do thank our sponsors, the Honey Wheat Tobacco Company, bringing you fresh hand-rolled cigarettes grown in the fabled tobacco roads of the Carolinas, who bring you the finest dandies of the day of this and every game, for this game and every game of the Continental League season for the 1921 season. The third finest dandy is Slug Thombid, going 2 for 5 with a 3-run home run. Throat Boulder gets second finest dandy honors, going 4 for 5 with a double and 2 runs batted in to his name. But the finest dandy of the day, and this is a surprise, but he created a lot of drama, is Fixed Ray Mortgage. Finest dandy of the day will get a complimentary carton of Honey Wheat cigarettes. He went 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 9th, getting a grand slam home run to bring the game within 1 run. He is your finest dandy of the day, brought to you by the Honey Wheat Tobacco Company, who humbly request that you smoke wheat every day. Well, the final series of the season continues tomorrow. We will know a little bit more about the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers and where they stand in terms of clinching a championship. They did not get the win they needed, so they will remain at this moment at 51-37. Both the Presbyterians and the Brown Trousers at the moment, who are still playing at this time, 1.5 games back. The elimination number is still at 2. So 2 wins for the Grasshoppers in the final 2 games will clinch a championship. Does move the Ruffians to 37-51. That is a good win for them to continue to bounce back and build from next year. But of course the Aces will be on the mound tomorrow as Aubrey Bona takes the mound for the Grasshoppers to take on Garfield Weed for the Ruffians. That will conclude our broadcast. I'm Lou Fudgewick. We'll see you again tomorrow here on Radio WFBR for Baltimore-Washington. I bid you a good night. Don't go too far. We're just a few hops away.